Hi, my name is Kok Zen Singh and welcome to our CSC 2104 Operating System Fundamental Final Assessment video. Okay, today we are going to discuss about the file system topic, and today we will separate the explanations of this topic into two parts. The first part would be what is file system and what are the types of file system used in different platforms. And this part will be hosted by me, and the second part, which consists of comparison between file system and method to convert to other file system format, will be hosted by my another teammate, Chun Ki. Okay, let's start with the first part. What is file system? A file system is a procedure that controls how and where the data in a storage is. So for example, basically how a hard disk drive HDD is stored, accessed, and managed. Okay, let's talk about the file system used in Linux OS. So the first is ext3, which also known as the extended file system, and it was introduced in 2001. The main changes from ext2 to ext3 is that ext3 allows generic features. So what is generic features? Generic features are implemented in the file system to keep track of all the changes made in the file system. The chances of file system corruptions is decreased due to generating features when system crash occurs. So the maximum individual file size that can be stored in the ext3 can be from 16 gigabytes to 2 terabytes. The maximum volume size for ext3 would be 4 terabytes. Okay, next we are going to talk about the second type of file system used in Linux OS, which is ext4. It's also known as Fourth Extended File System, and it was introduced in 2008. It supports larger individual file size and overall file system size than ext3. The maximum individual file size that can be stored in the ext4 can be from 16 gigabytes to 16 terabytes. So the overall maximum ext file system size is 1 exabyte, and some new features such as multi-block allocations, delayed allocation, journal checksum, and etc. is also introduced in the ext4. So finally, the off button for generating features are now available in ext4 versions. So this simply means that we can turn off the generating features when we don't need it. Okay, now we are going to talk about the file system used in Windows OS, which is the first type, FAT. It's also named as File Allocation Table. It was introduced in 1980. So the first FAT12 and FAT16 is used to be applied on old floppy disk, which is we can't see it nowadays, and the FAT32 is still widely used for memory cards and USB sticks. So this system is supported by smartphones, digital cameras, and other portable devices also. So FAT32 can be used on Windows external storage or disk partitions with the size under 32 gigabytes. So for creating a file size that larger or exceed 4 GB in FAT32 or any fat version is not allowed. So now we're going to see the max file size and the max volume size of each FAT version. For the FAT12 versions, it can store maximum file size of 32 megabytes. So the max volume size for FAT12 will be 32 megabytes also. So for FAT16 version, it can store maximum file size can be from 2 gigabytes to 4 gigabytes. And the maximum volume size of FAT16 would be 16 gigabytes. For FAT32 version, it can store 4 GB maximum file size. And also the maximum volume size for window format FAT32 would be 32 GB and 2 TB for other OS such as Linux or HFX Plus. Okay, now we are going to talk about the second type of file book system used in Windows OS, which is NTFS. It's also known as New Technology File System. It was introduced in 1993, and NTFS is now the most common file system for Windows. And NTFS is quite reliable due to the generating features and some and support many useful features as well, such as access control, encryptions, and others. So each file in the NTFS format is stored as a file descriptor in the master file table. The master file table contains entries with all information about the files, which is such as size, allocations, name, and others. It is used a bitmap to manage the free space in the storage, and also NTFS is able to support data storage with extremely high capacity because the file system uses 48 and 64 bits values to reference the files. So for the maximum individual file size will be 16 exabytes. 16 exabytes. Okay, now we are going to talk about the file system used in Mac OS, which is HFS Plus. It also named as Hierarchical File System Plus. It was introduced in 1998, and HFS Plus used to be the main file system for Apple products, such as Mac computers, iPods, as well as HyperX server products. So the HFX Plus file system uses bitmap for placing and locating files also. Its data reliability is highly improved through generating, which makes it possible to keep track of all changes in the system and quickly respond it back to the working state in case of any unexpected event, for example, system crash. And in this HFX Plus, it does not support any non-Mac operating system. That means that we cannot use HFX Plus in a Windows operating system.
Hi, my name is Lau Chun Kit, and I'm going to talk about methods to convert file system from one operating system to another and the comparison between file systems. First, let's talk about the methods convert file system from one operating system to another. Method 1. Converting file system using external tool, NTFS or FAT32, ext3 or ext2. Step 1. Download each US partition master free and export or backup data in storage device first. Step 2.1. Run each US partition master. Right-click the hard drive partition you wish to format and choose Format. Next, set the partition label file system. You can choose either NTFS, FAT32, or ext2 or ext3, and cluster size for the partition to be formatted, then click OK. After that, you will see a pop-up window. Click OK in it to continue. Furthermore, click on the Execute Operation button in the top left corner to review the changes, then click Apply to start formatting the partition on your hard drive. Okay, let's move on to method 2. Convert file system using command prompts NTFS, FAT32, ext3, or ext2. Changing file system to NTFS format. Step 1. Run command prompt. Step 2. In the command prompt window, type convert drive letter. This command, hit the enter button to run the command. Moreover, let's move to method 3. Convert file system using disk management tool. This management tool supports user to format storage device into any file system by formatting. For example, we can follow to transfer the file system to NTFS now. Step 1. Open disk management. Step 2. Right-click the partition that you wish to format and then click Format. In the Format dialog box, under File System, click FAT32 or NTFS, then click OK. Step 4. When the format process is done, click OK. Next, method 4. Converting Mac formatted file system to other file system. Step 1. Backup the device in the storage. Step 2. Run the Windows Disk Management tool. Type this command into the box. Step 3. Right-click each partition on the Mac drive and select Delete Volume to remove the partition. To erase this partition, we will have to wipe the entire disk. This process erases everything on the disk, including its file and all its partitions. Next, step 4. Run command prompt window as administrator. Type this part into the command prompt window. Then type this disk at the disk part prompt to view a list of disks connected to your computer. After that, type select disk to select the Mac disk, replacing this command with the number of the Mac disk. Furthermore, type clean to erase the entire selected disk, including all its files and partitions, whether they are protected or not. After that, close the command prompt window when you see a message saying this part succeeded in cleaning the disk. Step 5. Create other file system partition. First, right-click it and select Initialize Disk. Select MBR or GPT partition table format to create a partition table for the disk. After that, right-click in the unallocated space on the initialized disk and select New Simple Volume. Use the wizard to create a partition with other file system. The drive will now be formatted for use by Windows systems. Okay, let's talk about comparison between file systems. FAT as the oldest drive formats, it is readable and writable for mostly all operating systems including Windows, Linux, Mac, and others, compared to NTFS and HFX Plus. NTFS is not writable for a Mac-based device without using any third-party software involved, and HFX Plus is not readable and writable for any Windows-based device without using any third-party software as well. Next, most of the removable media such as memory card, flash drives, USB drives, and other are in the FAT format today. As the storage of these removable media typically smaller than hard drives and they do not require the journaling features, thus this enables the user to move the drives between different base devices easily without using any third-party software. Safety and reliability among file systems. NTFS and ext3 or version above has the journaling features that can keep track of all the data in the storage. Compared to FAT, journaling features are not provided in the FAT format file system. Hence, security is not secure using the FAT format file system. It comes to the pretty critical issues when the complex internal drives needed to be secure in the case of system crashes or data moved due to the API defragmentations. This enables users to restore any uncommitted movement or changes to this essential data structure when the volume is remounted easily by using either NTFS, ext3, or any version above it. File size limitation. In the sense of file size, Users nowadays require larger and larger storage to store a larger file. For example, a 2 hours movie with 4K resolution need almost 7 GB to store the whole file. FAT32 is not able to afford this large amount of file size because of the maximum file size for FAT32 is only 4 GB. Hence, any file that is over 4 GB cannot be able to store in FAT32 device. Even though the device shows that it can store 32 GB of data, but the individual file size that can be stored in the device cannot exceed 4 GB, compared to ext4, which allows the user to store files that have larger file and partition size. This enables users to store any files that are much larger than 4 GB allowed by FAT32. Next, let's talk about the challenges faced in this assignment, me and my groupmate. The heavy work, we got a heavy workload because we only have 2 people in a group, as me, Junkit, and my friend Sing. And we have making discussion of which parts to summarize to create this video, because we think the 2 parts also quite difficult. Next, let's talk about the roles in this assignment. Me and my friend Sing also contribution will be 50-50 because we only have 2 people in this group. Sure, we attend all the discussion and topic research. We do the document together, 1 people half, and the video also. Thank you for listening.